ndikulandireni pano pa Parliament Broadcasting lero lachitatu pa 25 February 2026 pomwe tikupitiriza kupatsirani tsatanetsatane wa zokambirana za phungu zachiwiri mu mkumano umene wa namba 52 wa nyumba ya malamulo. Dzina langa ndi Rachel Gonani. Uwu ndi mkumano omwenso aphungu akhale akuunika ndi kukambirana ndondomeko ya chuma cha boma ya 2026 mpaka na 2027 yomwe nduna yona za chuma ikuyembekezeka kudzapereka ripoti makamaka kudzapereka mnyumbayi lachisanu likudzali pa 27 February 2026 nthawi ya 2 o'clock masana. Ndondomeko yoyendetsera zokambirana za phungu nyumba ya malamulo ikuonetsanso kuti komiti ya nyumba ya malamulo ya Commissions, Statutory Corporations and State Enterprises lero ipereka ripoti lake lokhudza thumba la ndalama za ngongole zomwe boma limapereka nife. Wapa mpando wa komiti iyi ndiye akuyembekezeka kupereka ripoti ili mnyumbayi. Kumbali ya boma ndondomeko ikusonyezanso kuti unduna woona za mphamvu ndi migodi upereka ripoti lake lokhudza momwe ntchito za migodi zilili mdziko muno. Tikuyembekezanso kuti unduna woona za ulimi upereka ripoti lake lokhudza momwe ntchito za minda ikuluikulu mega farms ikuyendera komanso mapulani amtsogolo. Aphungu akuyembekeza kupitiliza kuthira ndemanga pa uthenga omwe mtsogoleri wa dziko lino Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika adapereka mnyumbayi lachisanu pa 13 February 2026 komanso zina zambiri. In case you are just joining us, welcome to Parliament Broadcasting. Today, Wednesday, the 25th of February 2026, where we continue with the live broadcast of parliamentary proceedings in this second meeting of the 52nd session of Parliament. The Speaker's procession is making its way into the chamber for deliberations to commence. I am Rachel Gonani. Stay tuned.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness has appointed the office of the rulers and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we ask you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in so just and fair a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen.
General business, communication from the chair.
Good afternoon, honourable members. To welcome you to this afternoon's deliberations after a morning full of meetings and caucuses. Now that we are back in the chamber, we are ready for the business of the day. Good afternoon, Leader of the House and your team. I still see the acting leader of opposition seated. I hope you have good business today, acting leader of opposition, to raise to the House. Welcome to Parliament. I don't have any announcements as of now. Thank you. Doha East, why are you raising?
First Deputy Speaker, I'm rising because just to bring some lighter moments in the House, I observed that you are coming 3 minutes before time. So you entered the chamber and closed the prayer before 2 o'clock. So I want to plead with you, otherwise many people will be absent again. Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Doha East. Be assured today you are not absent, because hearing you talk in the House at a minute after 2, it shows the level of commitment that you and the rest of the honourable members that side have, especially those that have come. Leader, I see you rising.
Yeah, I think today the former leader of the House appears to be in jovial mood. First Deputy Speaker and the entire House, welcome back to the chamber this afternoon. Just to remind the House that today we will proceed as guided yesterday, and that will be as follows. The first item will be a delegation report. That will be followed by ministerial statements, beginning with Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, then Minister of Energy, and finally Minister of Agriculture. If we still have some time left, we'll continue with the debate on the SONA. I so guide First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Leader. Just to say, it's not a delegation report, it is a committee report on the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations, and State Enterprise. So just a correction on that, Leader. Thank you.
Item 2, general business. Presentation of committee report. The chairperson of Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations, and State Enterprises to present a report on the committee's engagement with National Economic Empowerment Fund, NEF.
Therefore, recognize the chairperson. Chair, you have the floor.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Chair, the Speaker is trying to imagine you have a folder, a red folder, like what I'm holding in my hands.
Yes.
And the motion is on top of that red folder.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, thank you for recognizing me. I beg to present the paper standing on my name under item 2B on the order paper.
Sergeant at Arms. Chair, do you want to speak to your report?
Yes, Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, I do.
Please proceed.
Much obliged.
Chair, you have 20 minutes to present this report, and you're starting at 14:07. Chair, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, this afternoon I stand deeply humbled and grateful to you for according me this opportunity to present a report in this August House on behalf of the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations and State Enterprises on its engagement with the National Economic Empowerment Fund, NEF. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations and State Enterprises, hereinafter referred to as the committee, undertook an engagement with the National Economic Empowerment Fund, NEF, the fund being a state-owned enterprise. Mr. Speaker, sir, the engagement was part of the committee's oversight responsibilities over public funds and institutions involved in socio-economic development. NEF is a government-owned microfinance institution registered under the Companies Act of 2013 with the objective to economically empower ordinary and underserved Malawians, underserved as in underprivileged Malawians, with particular focus on women, youth, and persons with disabilities, Mr. Speaker, sir, through the provision of affordable and sustainable financial services. Over the years, Mr. Speaker, sir, NEF has played a central role in government-led empowerment initiatives, especially in agriculture and small-scale enterprise development. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, concerns have been raised recently regarding NEF's governance framework, loan management practices, portfolio performance, and exposure to political influence. It was against this background, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the committee resolved to engage NEF management to appreciate the institution's mandate, performance challenges, and future outlook, as well as to verify operational realities through a field visit to selected warehouses. In that regard, Mr. Speaker, sir, the objectives of the committee included, or the objectives of this report as prepared by the committee include to document the proceedings and outcomes of the committee's engagement with NEF, to highlight key issues arising from NEF's presentation to the committee, to outline the committee's observations on governance, operational performance, and credit management at NEF, and to propose recommendations aimed at strengthening NEF's institutional effectiveness, accountability, and sustainability. Mr. Speaker, sir, in terms of the methodology, your committee undertook a formal roundtable meeting with the senior management of NEF on Friday, 6th February 2026. During this meeting, Mr. Speaker, sir, a comprehensive presentation was made covering the fund's mandate, institutional evolution, governance structure, performance trends, challenges, and future plans, Mr. Speaker, sir. This meeting also involved interactive discussions and clarifications between the committee and NIF management, Mr. Speaker, sir. Following the roundtable engagement on Monday, 9th February 2026, the committee conducted a field visit to selected NIF storage facilities located at Kasungu Boma, Chinghoma, and Imponela Indoor. The purpose of the field visit, Mr. Speaker, sir, was to verify information provided during the meeting and to assess condition and management of assets and farm inputs, and finally to appreciate operational realities on the ground. From the presentation, discussions, and the field visits, the committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, noted the following. First, your committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, noted that NIF has evolved from earlier government microfinance initiatives, beginning with the Malawi Rural Development Fund, MARDEF, in 2005, which later transformed into Malawi Enterprise Development Fund, MEDEF, in 2014, before being rebranded to NIF in 2020. However, no reasons were given for the decision, nor was the cost of doing so highlighted. The committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, was also informed of the composition of the board of directors and the management structure responsible for day-to-day operations of the institution. Regarding performance, NIF reported substantial growth in loan disbursements and client outreach between 2022 and 2025. However, participation of women and youth remained below targeted levels. The committee further noted that while loan collection and portfolio quality improved between 2022 and 2024, both portfolio at risk and non-performance loans deteriorated significantly, largely due to defaults in agricultural lending and weather-related shocks. Financial performance showed improving trends, however, with growth in assets, revenue, and a return to profitability in 2024. Deviation from mandate and beneficiary targeting. The committee observed that NIF had significantly deviated from its core mandate of empowering ordinary and underserved Malawians. The acknowledgement by management that politicians access the NIF loans represents a fundamental breach of the fund's mandate. The committee underscores in that regard that political office holders cannot, by any reasonable interpretation, be classified as underserved beneficiaries. It was understood, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the term underserved in the financial context of the institution refers to people that cannot afford or access other financial institutions to get loans for capital, such as banks. It was therefore observed by the committee that some ministers and members of parliament managed to access loans from NIF. This deviation has not only diluted the developmental impact of the fund, but has also compromised its credibility and public trust, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Political interference and abuse of public resources. Your committee, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, noted with grave concern that loan disbursements were made to large-scale farmers and politically connected individuals based on political considerations over the years. The committee further noted that loans were issued as incentives for political support. The committee also observed that this was unacceptable and considered an abuse of public resources. The committee raised a concern that because these loans were disbursed on political grounds, there were high default rates, which had now directly undermined NIF's portfolio quality and financial sustainability, effectively transferring the cost of political expediency to the taxpayer, Mr. Speaker, sir. weak legal foundation, and institutional vulnerability. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee is greatly concerned that NIF's establishment through a presidential directive rather than an act of parliament renders the institution highly vulnerable to political control and interference. The weak legal foundation has contributed to NIF being perceived as a political tool rather than a professional development financed institution, thereby eroding public confidence in its operations. The absence of a statutory framework undermined governance, accountability, and long-term institutional stability, as the institution remains susceptible to abrupt policy shifts driven by changes in political leadership rather than sound development finance principles. The committee further observed with concern that the repeated changes in the institution's identity from NADEF to MEDIF, then to NIF, and the proposals to revert to MEDIF had significant cost implications. These changes entailed substantial public expenditure associated with rebranding and restructuring, Mr. Speaker, sir, including alterations to legal instruments, corporate identity, signage, stationery, information systems, communication materials, and institutional processes. The committee was of the view that such current rebranding exercises did not add commensurate value to the service delivery and instead diverted scarce public resources away from the fund's core mandate of economic empowerment. The lack of a clear statutory anchor had facilitated this instability, resulting in inefficiencies, uncertainty among stakeholders, and weakened institutional continuity. Gross inadequacies in due diligence and risk management. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee expressed concern over the apparent failure by NIF to conduct adequate due diligence prior to loan disbursement. The revelation that some beneficiaries received farm inputs without owning any farms was indicative of serious lapses in credit appraisal, verification, and risk management systems, Mr. Speaker, sir. Such weaknesses expose the fund to avoidable losses and point to systematic governance and operational failures. An equal regional distribution of loans. The committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, also observed notable regional disparities in loan disbursements, where some regions were allocated more resources than others. Management's explanation that the loans were disbursed upon a vetting process was not accepted by the committee because it did not justify the concentration of beneficiaries in one region only. The committee's view was that this was influenced by political factors, further reinforcing concerns regarding the politicization of NIF's operations. The committee viewed this imbalance as inconsistent with principles of equity, non-discrimination, national development, and fair access to public resources. Adverse impact of loan write-offs on repayment culture. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee observed that NIF had written off loans on several occasions, for example, in 2016 and 2023. This practice of writing off loans, while sometimes unavoidable, had had a detrimental effect on the repayment behavior of NIF's clients. The perception that loans could be written off could encourage deliberate default by some borrowers, thereby eroding credit discipline and undermining the sustainability of the fund. The committee was saddened to note that NIF had publicly revealed that it had written off some loans, which could Excuse me, honorable members. Excuse me, honorable members.
Honorable members, order.
I'm
Order,
presenting a very important national report, please.
Order.
The committee was saddened to note that NIF had publicly revealed that it had written off loans, some loans, which could discourage others from fulfilling repayment obligations, although they were capable of repaying, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Poor asset management and rushed disposal of assets. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee was concerned about the procurement, storage, and subsequent disposal of farm inputs and other assets by NIF. The committee observed that the disposal process, reportedly being undertaken through sealed bidding, is occurring under undue urgency, ostensibly due to a perceived impending expiry of some inputs, particularly seeds. While the committee acknowledged the risk posed by potentially expiring inputs, it observed that the rushed nature of the disposal process had significantly heightened the risk of fraud, collusion, and abuse of public resources. The committee further noted that the lack of openness and adequate public disclosure of information surrounding the disposal exercise, coupled with ongoing investigations into procurement and asset management practices, created fertile ground for manipulation of the process and the potential loss of value to the government. The committee was of the firm view that agency arising from poor planning or weak inventory management could not be used to justify opaque or expedited disposal procedures that undermined transparency and accountability. The committee emphasized that the public assets, regardless of their condition or remaining useful life, must be managed and disposed in a manner that is transparent, competitive, well-documented, and beyond reproach. Any disposal process that is perceived as hurried or insufficiently transparent not only exposes government to financial loss, but also erodes public confidence in the integrity of public institutions. The committee's observations from the field vis storage facilities at Kasungu Boma, at Chingoma in Kasungu, and at Imponere Ndoa raised serious concerns regarding inventory management, storage standards, and asset handling as detailed below. First, procurement. The committee observed that some seeds reportedly procured from Zimbabwe did not have manufacturing dates and dates of expiry, thereby giving no indication of when they would be out of use. This, therefore, puts the question of risk of expiry into suspicion and doubt. Poor inventory management and record keeping. The committee observed, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, a general absence of effective inventory management systems across the visited warehouses. Assets, for example, were not systematically catalogued, and in many instances, there was no clear linkage between physical items on the ground and inventory records. The committee found inventory records at Kasungu Boma, but did not find the same at Chingoma and Imponera. The lack of up-to-date stock registers, asset tagging, and batch identification made it difficult for the committee to ascertain quantities, acquisition dates, expiry timelines, and intended beneficiaries. This situation exposed the institution to significant risk of loss, misappropriation, and manipulation of disposal processes, as assets could not be reliably tracked or accounted for. Inappropriate storage conditions and exposure to environmental damage. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee noted with concern that several assets, including solar-powered water pumps, solar panels, panel stands, and irrigation equipment, were stored outdoors and exposed directly to rain, sunlight, and dust. Such exposure, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, was likely to compromise the quality, efficiency, and lifespan of the equipment, thereby diminishing their value even before utilization or disposal. The committee therefore observed that some assets stored outdoors appeared weathered and dusty, creating an impression that they were used or obsolete, yet management indicated that these items were new and had never been deployed. This raised serious questions regarding value preservation and responsible stewardship of public assets. Mixing and dumping of assets without proper organization. During the field visit, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee observed that different categories of assets, including fertilizer, assorted seeds, agrochemicals, irrigation pipes, solar panels, pumps, and the accessories were indiscriminately mixed within the same storage spaces. In some instances, assets were plowed or dumped together without any logical arrangement, shelving, or separation by type, batch, or condition. The committee further noted the absence of proper labeling, signage, or segregation of items earmarked for disposal from those still fit for program use. This practice, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, not only undermined inventory control, but also increased the risk of asset damage, pilferage, and fraudulent substitution during disposal. Risk of asset degradation and misrepresentation. The committee, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, observed that the manner in which assets were dumped or poorly stored had resulted in packaging damage, entanglement of components, and general disorganization. This condition created a misleading impression that the assets were defective, obsolete, or of inferior quality, thereby potentially justifying disposal at undervalued prices. The committee was concerned that such conditions, whether by neglect or design, may facilitate the disposal of new assets as scrap or near waste, resulting in significant loss of value to the state. Committee position based on these observations in the warehouses. The committee, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, concluded at the end of the inspection tour that the conditions observed during the field visits were symptomatic of weak internal controls, poor planning, and ineffective asset management at the institution. The state of the storage spaces did not reflect the prudent management of public assets and directly reinforced the committee's earlier concerns regarding rushed and opaque disposal processes. Having visited only 3 sites, the committee was of the view that the conditions of storage spaces was prevailing in most NIF facilities and offices across the country, as the materials are being handled in the same manner in all NIF warehouses and the places. The committee emphasized that the observed deficiencies necessitated immediate corrective action and thus informed the committee's final conclusions and recommendations as highlighted in the subsequent chapter, which I will present. In light of the foregoing, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir.
Honorable Chair, you've exhausted your 20 minutes. I don't know if you would be considering to wind up. Please, thank you.
Would you please, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, consider me an extension of 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes.
Chair, to ask for 10 minutes. To ask for 10 minutes, Chair, is a lot of time. Chair, I will extend some time, but not 10 minutes. Please proceed. Just be mindful if you don't have enough time.
Much obliged, and thank you, Chair. Suspension of asset disposal. The committee recommends that NIF should immediately halt and suspend all ongoing and planned disposal of NIF assets pending conclusion of a comprehensive independent audit and verification exercise. Independent asset verification and evaluation. The committee recommends that an independent and professionally qualified team should be engaged to conduct a full fiscal verification, condition assessment, and revaluation of all NIF assets, particularly those earmarked for disposal, to ensure that the disposal decisions are evidence-based and protect value for money. Audit of procurement, storage, and disposal processes. The committee, Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, recommends that the Auditor General should conduct a special audit focusing on procurement, inventory management, storage practices, and disposal procedures to establish compliance with public finance and procurement laws. The committee had noted statements from officials that some materials were procured at prices above prevailing market prices. Strengthening inventory and warehouse management. The committee recommends that NIF should urgently establish and operationalize robust inventory management systems, including asset tagging, stock registers, batch tracking, and minimum storage standards to ensure proper accountability and traceability of assets. Assets earmarked for disposal should be clearly segregated, labeled, and documented separately from those fit for program use to prevent substitution, misrepresentation, or loss. Legal establishment of NIF. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, government should expedite, the committee recommends, the enactment of legislation to formally establish NIF as a statutory institution, clearly defining its mandate, governance structures, and the safeguards against political interference. Adherence to founding mandate. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, NIF, the committee recommends, should stick to its mandate of serving the underserved Malawians, those that cannot access banks and other commercial lenders for capital loans. Corrective and appropriate measures. The committee, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, recommends that appropriate and corrective measures should be taken based on the audit report findings. Parliamentary follow-up. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, it is recommended that the Office of the President and Cabinet should furnish the committee with a time-bound implementation plan outlining actions taken to address these recommendations, and the periodic progress reports should be submitted to Parliament. NIF reporting lines. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee recommends that NIF should be removed from the Office of the President and Cabinet to be attached to an appropriate line ministry, which is the Ministry of Finance and Decentralization, in line with the legislation that can be passed establishing NIF. In conclusion, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, based on the engagement with NIF management and the findings from the field visits, the committee concludes that challenges facing NIF are systematic and interconnected. Weak governance arrangements, sustained political interference, and poor asset and inventory management have collectively undermined the institution's mandate, operational effectiveness, and public credibility. The committee, therefore, observed that the absence of a firm statutory foundation had left NIF vulnerable to policy instability and political influence, which had in turn affected beneficiary targeting, loan performance, and strategic decision-making in the institution. The political interference had distorted lending practices, weakened repayment discipline, and exposed the fund to avoidable financial losses, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir. Therefore, deficiencies in asset management manifested through poor inventory controls, inappropriate storage conditions, and rushed disposal processes represented a serious failure in the stewardship of public resources at the institution. The state in which the assets were found during the visit reinforced the committee's concern that weak internal controls and poor planning had contributed to value erosion and heightened the risk of fraud through disposal. The committee was of the considered view that unless decisive corrective measures were undertaken, NIF risked continued financial leakage, reputational damage, and erosion of public confidence, thereby defeating the very purpose for which it was established, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir. Before I finish, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, let me express my very sincere and profound appreciation to you for your untiring support towards the oversight work of the parliamentary committees, and in particular, the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations, and State Enterprises. The committee would also like to express its gratitude to the Clerk of Parliament for all the logistical and technical support rendered during these consultative meetings and field visits. In the same vein, let me thank the members of the committee for their dedication and contribution during the proceedings. Let's keep it that way during the subsequent proceedings. Let me assure you, Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, that your Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations and State Enterprises remains steadfast in ensuring that statutory corporations and state enterprises perform to improve the lives of Malawians. Mr. Speaker, sir, with these few remarks, and while asking you to consider increasing funding to committees for performance of these duties, Mr. Speaker, sir, I hereby beg to move that the report be adopted by the House. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Chair, for that statement. And I'm trying to be forced to agree that there were indeed very few words, but there were indeed very few words, Chair. Can I recognize Seconder of the report? Seconder. Oh, okay. What constituency, Madam? Lilongwe Bunda constituency. The honorable member for Lilongwe Bunda, you have the floor to second the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for allowing the people of Lilongwe Bunda constituency to second a report of the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations and State Enterprise on its engagement with National Economic Empowerment Fund, NEF, which has been ably presented by my chairperson. As a way of seconding the report, I will echo with my chairperson in providing a way forward as follows. In order to restore institutional integrity, safeguard public resources, and align NIF/MEDEF with its original mandate, the committee proposes the following way forward. 1, immediate governance and legal reforms must be prioritized to insulate NIF from political interference and ensure institutional stability. Asset management systems must be urgently strengthened to prevent further loss of value and restore confidence in the management of public property. Oversight, accountability, and enforcement mechanisms must be reinforced to ensure that lapses identified are addressed and decisively and do not recur. Immediate halting of the intended sale of assets at NIF. With these very few remarks, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I wish to second the report that has been ably represented by my chairperson. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to second the report.
Thank you. Thank you. Lilongwe Bunda, secondment motion was supposed to be 5 minutes. You've diligently done it in 2.5 minutes. Thank you very much for doing a good job. Honourable members, the report has been circulated to the House electronically. We have it. I therefore would want to seek the House if we can debate. Those that would like to debate the report, you have the floor. Those who want to add their voice to the report, you have the floor. The honorable member for Blantyre Zingwangwa, Sochi Zingwangwa, and then we'll go to Blantyre North, and then we'll proceed from there.
Thank you so much, Mr. First Deputy, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, for granting the people of Blantyre City, Sochi Zingwangwa constituency, the chance to comment on the SONA. First Deputy Speaker. What is it? Oh, report. Oh, sorry. I withdraw, sir. Hold on.
Honorable member for Blantyre North. Honorable member for Blantyre North. Honorable Commissioner, you be considered first when we start to debate the SONA. We will consider you first.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I request the technicians to look on the microphones, starting from number 38, 39, 40, 41, up to 44. The whole line has no functional microphones.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Blantyre North.
First Deputy Speaker, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to add my voice on the committee report. The idea of having NIF or the other names which have been mentioned in the report, it's a good one. The problem comes in the implementation, the target, because each and every, when they were forming, the one who came with the first idea, the late Professor Bingwa Mutaliga, may his soul rest in peace, the target area were the underprivileged, the people who had no capacity to raise money for business. But along the way, it has been overtaken by the people who is outside the target, the politicians, the powerful ones. Very few people, even some of the politicians did not benefit from this committee. But the targeted one has been left out. But the idea was good, to have NIF to assist our people in the rural areas to set up small-scale businesses. I'll give you a good example. There was a program whereby farmers who did not benefit from the AIP were supposed to get a loan to buy fertilizer and seeds, main seeds. Unfortunately, in my constituency, only 5 groups benefited. But you can see that if this program can be run professionally, there is an organization which runs 1 acre fund. They do borrow fertilizer to the rural people. It's a good, they benefit a lot. It makes a big difference. But NIF, I should thank the president, the incumbent one, for saying that it will be rebranded. This is a welcome idea. Indeed, NIF should go to the targeted people, not everyone. NIF should not look at the face of the person. People in the rural areas should benefit from this. Mind you, this is a taxpayer's money. We have people even right here in this house who have benefited from NIF, billions, and they're failing to pay back. Millions, they're failing to pay back. So this should stop. The money should go to the rural, needy people in our constituencies. The money should go to the needy people in our areas. And this should not be a political tool. This, First Deputy Speaker, the other area is most of the people, they take the loan. Because there is an attachment of politics, they do not want to pay back. We would like to encourage those people who benefited from the NIF to pay back so that other people should also benefit. If you cannot pay back, don't take it. Don't take it. But all in all, this is a good intervention to our people, and I would like to encourage this current government to increase the amount of, to disburse more money to NIF under a new name, because the other NIF was tainted because of the few greedy politicians. So yes, it must have a good a new name, which can be applied neutrally, which everyone should be able to benefit regardless of the political cast. With these few remarks, First Deputy Speaker, I support the report.
Thank you. I recognize the honourable member for Mwanza Central, Blantyre Chiromoni, and then the honourable member for Lilongwe Mpenu. In that order, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for allowing me to contribute on the statement by the Statutory Corporation Committee. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the idea behind the formation of this fund was brilliant, and it has to be commended. The challenge is the way we are managing this particular fund. I want to agree with the report that for so long, intended beneficiaries have not benefited much from this particular fund. Most of the times, it is indeed politicized. Beneficiaries are mostly drawn from the political circle, leaving out the major intended beneficiaries. Of course, even those in the political circle, some of them are genuine beneficiaries, but the ones that I am worried about are those that are not within the spectrum of what this fund is all about. It is sad to note that some politicians who are able to borrow money from commercial banks are also benefiting from this fund. Mr. Speaker, my constituency has a lot of business young people, business women, who cannot access loans from commercial banks. This is their only opportunity, but it becomes very difficult. Young people formed groups in my constituency before I became an MP of the area. I tried to engage NIF to understand the requirements. These young people managed to organize themselves. The youth from Chotseni village, youth from Kanduku village, Kunene Kude, to Longhondo, they submitted the application forms. But I want to assure you, and I want to tell you that up to now, most of them have not even received any response. Not getting the fund itself, but just a response to say this is where your application is. But most of the times, a list is drawn by politicians, submitted to NIF, And those are the people who access this fund. The other issue I have is the way they manage funds from FINES. There is a World Bank project. There are funds from FINES. The idea behind is to empower businesses. If I go to National Bank and borrow FINES resources, they charge me 11% per annum. If you go to NIF, access FINES fund, because of probably knowledge gap, they are charged commercial rates. These are the issues that we have to look at. And I want to support the idea of coming up with a legislation, because the NIF is operating as a bogus institution, because we don't have an act that is regulating NIF. That's why it operates as per the wish of that particular government. I saw a list of beneficiaries from NIF. Some of the members, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they are in this house. They benefited from NIF. Mr. Speaker, that is not acceptable, and it has to be corrected, because I don't think any member of this House cannot access funding from commercial banks. As politicians, I think it's high time we considered our position as a position that requires high moral ground. And we must always stand on moral ground on whatever decisions we make. We must ask ourselves questions. Is what I'm doing right? Is what I'm doing really what I'm supposed to do as a representative of the people? So I want to support the direction that the report has given, and I want to support the recommendations, mainly the one that is talking about auditing, the one that is talking about the suspension of asset disposal. We need to make sure that whatever is happening following the procedures. And the last one, there must be corrective measure to look at the mismanagement. Mr. Speaker, all those that have mismanaged NIF funds must be brought to book. We cannot continue to let things just go. I think that is the reason why people think it is okay to abuse public resources. We are talking of taxpayers' resources. And with these few remarks, I want to reiterate that UTM will always defend transparency. UTM will protect public resources. UTM will ensure that institutions meant to the development truly serve the nation. Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. Blantyre Kabula.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the people of Blantyre, Chimoni, Kabula, Nancholi constituency to add the voice on the report ably presented by the chair of
we have a point of order, Blantyre Chiromoni, please. What's the point of order?
Chair, I'm lost just like Blantyre Zingwangwa. At some point it was lost. Mwaza Sento was speaking, and the conclusion was UTM support, UTM prejudice. So I'm lost. Was he speaking as a spokesperson of the party or as Mwaza Sento?
Member, the honorable member was recognized as Mwanza Central, but in the process of doing so, he had to take a right tick for his political party. That ushered him into parliament. So that is acceptable. It is acceptable. We are a political house, and we are ushered here by political parties. The speaker seated here, the deputy speaker, was ushered here by the Democratic Progressive Party. But I am non-partisan as I sit on this seat. Thank you very much. Thank you. Blantyre Chilomoni.
First Deputy Speaker for recognizing the people of Blantyre Chilomoni, Kabula Nancholi constituency to add the voice. I wish to commend the committee led by the chairperson through a frank, free and very disturbing piece of oversight work. This report, Chair, is not just a collection of observation, but it's also a forensic examination of the system that has failed ordinary Malawians. Chair, I want to focus on three key areas: the loss of public value, the capture of the institution by the political elite, and the way forward regarding the legal reforms. Chair, the criminal wastage of the public resources evidenced by the report is saddening. We see solar panels that were purchased at high value price being dumped. The committee observed that they had some seed with no expiry date, and really I get to wonder time and time again why we have this kind of economic sabotage through negligence. Surprisingly, Chair, we Malawians only do this when it comes to public funds. If it's a private entity, no one in their business would ever allow that to happen. And I think it's a shame that we really take taxpayers' money for granted the way we do. In other countries, Chair, when you mess around with taxpayers' money like that, it's a jail sentence for you. There's no two ways about it. I don't know why we keep allowing, I was going to use the word, but it's not parliamentary, nonsensical, but we can do better as Malawians. Chair, the elite has captured the fund. This fund is for pro-poor. But we see ministers, former acting ACB director, we see members of parliament accessing the fund, Chair. Much as we know that they complied with all requirements to access the loan, but is it really fair for the members of parliament and ministers, cabinet ministers, to access the fund when the underprivileged really are looking for the same funds? So I do support that we really need to reform. It is a good fund that is being abused by politicians, that is being abused by the procurement processes, and it's unfair, Chair. This is taxpayers' money. I don't know how long it will take Malawians to realize that once you touch taxpayers' money, and I think someone must bring a serious bill here to do with taxpayers' funds. When you steal that taxpayers' funds, the pain that you should feel, you should even ask yourself why I was born. I think that if we make it that painful, and I think all this mess that's happening around in terms of procurement, mismanaging, or mismanagement of funds like NIF, it will stop, Chair. We can't just keep talking. Finally, Speaker, the root cause of the disease as identified in the report is the weak legal foundation. An institution that lives by presidential directive can die by presidential directive. An institution that changes the name a few years from MADEF to MEDEF and then to NIF and now back to MEDEF sends a wrong signal. It's time now that we go back and rebrand it NIF and maybe through an act of parliament, Chair, so that we I strongly support the committee's recommendation that we replace MADEF for NIF to statutory footing through the Act of Parliament, whether it's going to be MADEF, but it has to be now through an Act of Parliament. Chair, in conclusion, I support the recommendation to suspend the asset disposal. I support the call for an independent audit and that I call on the House to ensure that legal reforms proposed are fast-tracked. We cannot allow the next generation of Malawians entrepreneurs to be let down by a fund that was supposed to lift them up. Chair, with these few remarks, I support the committee's report. Thank you.
Thank you. Lilongwe Mpenu.
First, let me thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for granting an opportunity to the people of Lilongwe Mpenu to speak over the report that has been ably. I understand I'm not being heard. I think there's a problem with the mic. I need to lean towards it. Okay. Let me take this opportunity to thank you for giving the people of Lilongwe Mpenu an opportunity to speak over this report that has been ably presented by the chair of the committee. I commend them. I commend the committee for doing a thorough and comprehensive work in as far as NIF's operations are concerned. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, NIF's mission ostensibly is to uplift the lives of those that are not served by the conventional financial market. The whole idea was to make available to people that cannot access financial services from banks and other institutions, giving them access to financial facilities. And when you look at the report that has been presented, you are able to identify gaps and lacuna. You are able to identify challenges that this institution is facing in the process of giving services to the very people they are made to serve. Unfortunately, one of the challenges identified is the lack of legal framework. This, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, is critical. This is what has led to manipulation by all administrations of this very institution. The report has told us that in 2016, for example, loans were written off. In 2023, loans were written off. That just goes to show, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that this institution, whose intention or very mission for which it was created is very good, is facing very serious challenges. And for that reason, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we, as the National Assembly, exist to represent these people that are meant to be served by this institution. And it should be in the interest of all of us to make sure that NIF serves effectively and efficiently so that we see economic change in the very people it intends to serve. It is therefore in the interest of all of us to make sure that we provide the necessary environment for this institution to accomplish its mission. And I would like to agree entirely with the committee's findings, and I would like to agree entirely with the committee's recommendations. I think it is high time that we provided a legal framework in order to make sure that NIF operates within a limit. Lack of legal framework has made it possible for NIF to change programs. They will decide to provide cash loans or agricultural inputs. Another regime will come, they will decide to do something different. But if we provide a legal framework, that will anchor the operations of NIF, and it will be very easy for us to whip NIF into line. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I would also like to agree that the intention to rebrand or to revert NIF to MEDIF has got economic implications on the institution. I know the intention might be good, but let us look at the financial implications. When they start changing everything related to the institution, those funds could be used to serve the very people that this institution is intended to serve. It is therefore my submission, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that this House seriously considers that providing a legal framework, and then at the same time, maybe we request the executive side that they penned this rebranding exercise, particularly considering the cost implications. And I so submit, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Leader.
First Deputy Speaker, I'd like to move that a debate on the report be curtailed so that we can proceed with other business.
Okay.
I submit.
Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to curtail debate to allow the mover, the chairperson, to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir. In my area speech, I kept referring to you as Mr. Speaker, sir, but I understand the minibus is also a bus. And sometimes they park in the same station sometimes.
The chair seated here is assuming that that was a lighter moment. If it's a serious moment, the chair is about to evoke some sections of the standing orders. So can I confirm from you if it was a lighter moment?
It was a lighter moment, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
You are very safe, Chair. You can proceed, Chair.
It was very seriously lighter. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, I have keenly followed the debate around the report that has been presented by our committee through me in this House. There seems to be consensus on both sides of the aisle that operations at NIF are not taking place in a manner that is consistent with the founding objectives of the institution, and that as a result of that, the institution is not living to its expectations in terms of benefiting Malawians that are intended to access financial assistance from the institution. It also appears to be very clear that members of this House are of the view that the institution needs to be founded on a proper statute so that its mandate and operations can be properly guided and controlled. Mr. Speaker, sir, this house being a house that exists to represent Malawians and to advance their welfare and put their welfare first before anything, and my committee, or our committee, being a delegation of this house, discharging its functions on behalf of this house, we are, and I am, of the view that I be allowed, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, to beg to move that the report be adopted by the whole House. I beg. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I also request the technicians to look at the microphone from where the chair is seated, because he continues to move to the next microphone. Honour members, there's a motion on the floor. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that the report of the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations, and State Enterprises on its engagement with the National Economic Empowerment Fund be adopted by this House. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and the committee report is adopted. We have 2 points of orders. Point of order from Choro Central, Honour Minister of Law Government, and Zomba Changalume.
Thank you.
Chingale. Zomba Chingale.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker. As I congratulate the committee that has just presented a comprehensive report, I wonder whether it's now time and whether it's in order, Mr. Speaker, that we should adopt now the naming and shaming system. This thing of covering up, and then we present a report and people begin to guess. It's high time we stigmatize corruption in Malawi. It's high time we stigmatize all this plunder. And I'm wondering whether it is in order for your office to consider whether it is the committee of legal to really revise our standing orders so that those that are involved in plunder must be named and shamed. It is only until that has happened that we will now begin to clean the mess that we have in town. Because I'll tell you what, as they were speaking, some of us here wearing these jackets, we are looking like gentlemen as if we did not participate in the plunder. But we are in the plunder that was being talked about here. So many reports that will be coming, you will find that we are happy and are thinking that all is well. So I'm wondering whether, Speaker, your office could consider that going forward, we should be doing naming and shaming in this House. Thank you.
Thank you. I did allow you to prolong your explanation because the business you have started to tackle is a serious business, and it has given us the report on its own, mentions all politicians, including the chair seated here is also a politician, and I want to declare I never benefited from anything from NIF. And if indeed there were members of this House leader that benefited from this NIF and they are failing to pay back and denied Malawians that access, I will indeed follow up with that. And I would like to ask the Honourable Line Minister, when responding after 14 days to that statement, to bring us the list of those names to this House, so Malawians should know who are those names. I therefore rule. Member, I recognize the leader first and then you. So, Honourable Member, please resume your seat. Honourable Zomba, yes, leader, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Just to remind the House that I did guide that immediately after the committee report, we'll move to ministerial statements, beginning with the one on energy and then finally the one on agriculture. I submit.
Thank you very much. Honorable Zomba, for 1 minute, please.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker. Is it in order for this honorable House to listen to that report eloquently presented by the chairperson without strengthening the recommendations that they made?
Can you imagine?
When you look at the recommendations that they made, they didn't include at least one recommendation which is punitive on the people that are in this cycle. Is it in order? What is the purpose of submitting that report to this honorable House and we just listen and adopt without strengthening the recommendation? Is that in order?
Thank you very much. Now that that report was adopted, it gives the chair no options of reopening the debate. I wish I recognized you in the debate, but I would like to say I saw you a little bit late and it was curtailed, but you're making a very valid point. You are not very far from what Charles Sento raised. Thank you very much. Honourable members, we go to the next business.
Item 3, government business, ministerial statement. The Honorable Minister of Energy and Mining to present a statement on the status of mining in the country.
Honourable Minister of Energy and Mining, you have the floor.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, let me begin by sincerely thanking you for giving me this opportunity to deliver a statement on the current status of mining in the country, as well as to outline the short and medium-term measures that the government is putting in place. My statement, Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, will mainly focus on licensing regime and artisanal mining. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, government recognizes the immense potential of mining sector to contribute to revenue generation, foreign exchange, employment, and overall economic growth. The sector offers the greatest opportunity for generating export earnings through mineral exports. Currently, First Deputy Speaker, sir, the sector contributes just 1% to the country's GDP. However, as a ministry, we are working on increasing this contribution from the current 1% to 20% by the year 2030. However, I must inform this esteemed August House that the mining sector has numerous setbacks, including illegal mining, as we all know, poor legal and regulatory framework, inadequate public investment in mining projects, inadequate capacity in inspection and enforcement, and mineral exploration. and this has resulted in an availability of detailed geoscientific data. First, Deputy Speaker, sir, the country is endowed with substantial mineral deposits in various categories. And the country has, firstly, the energy transition minerals, otherwise referred to as critical minerals, which are crucial components for renewable energy technologies, such as electric vehicles and wind turbines. These energy transition minerals are available in substantial deposits across the country. And these include graphite, lithium, rare earth elements, uranium, titanium, and manganese. These minerals are available in large deposits in Kasia and Malingunde in Lilongwe, Kangankude in Balaka, Songwe Hills in Palombe, Kayerekera in Karonga, and Kanyika in Nzimba, just to mention a few. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, these minerals have a very big economic potential considering the heightened demand on the international market. And I must say, First Deputy Speaker, sir, and the August House, that Malawi holds most of the sought-after minerals on the globe. First Deputy Speaker, sir, Malawi is also endowed with substantial deposits of industrial minerals, such as limestone, phosphate, heavy mineral sands, bauxite, and gypsum. These minerals are critical to the development of our country as they are raw materials for production of various industrial products, such as lime, cement, and fertilizer. First Deputy Speaker, sir, Malawi also possesses a large number of gemstones and precious stones. And these include gold, ruby, emerald, sapphire, and garnet, just to mention a few. As you are aware, Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, Malawi has substantial deposits of alluvial gold and various gemstones which are subject to widespread illegal mining and trading across the country. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, to facilitate a clear understanding of my sector, it is necessary that I should explain various types of licenses that are issued in the sector. The Department of Mining, through Mines and Minerals Regulatory Authority, MMRA, issues different types of licenses as follows. The first license is reconnaissance license. This is a non-exclusive license issued for a period of 2 years. It is issued to allow the license holder to make assessment of where to apply for an exploration license. The second license is exploration license. And this license is issued to both local and foreign companies for exploration of minerals. And currently, the country has 172 exploration licenses. And good example of those holding exploration licenses are in Kasia and Malingunde. The third license is a retention license. And this license is issued when the investor is done with exploration, but not ready for mining. And this is so because there are times when maybe the investor he hasn't got enough capital or other factors. As such, they would apply for that license just to make sure that they are able to identify financials for the project. The fourth license is a reserved minerals license. And this license, First Deputy Speaker, sir, is issued for a period of 1 year only, but can be renewed. So both Malawians and foreigners can apply for the license. It is used for buying, keeping, as well as selling minerals. The fifth license, Honorable Speaker, sir, is on mining. This is called a mining license. And on mining licenses, we do have three categories. The first category is that of large-scale mining. And this license is issued to local and foreign companies after finishing exploration. Currently, the country has only 2 large-scale mining license holders. I would like to underline that. At the moment, Malawi only has 2 companies that are holding large-scale mining license. One for niobium in Nzimba district, and another one for uranium in Karonga district. Then we do have another mining license. This one is medium scale. This is just as large scale, is issued to both foreign and local companies after finishing exploration. And currently, the country has 81 active licenses in this category across the country. Then we do have small-scale mining license, and this is a mining license issued to Malawians only. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, we have noted a number of gaps in the mining sector, mainly to do with our legal instruments. And I can say without any hesitation that 2 letters have been missing in the questions, and these are I and K. I for integrity, and K for knowledge. Therefore, government has decided that the first crucial step to take towards a robust mining sector is the review of the legal and regulatory framework to ensure compliance by all license holders. First Deputy Speaker, sir, this is the reason why government has suspended issuance of all types of licenses, pending review of the legal and regulatory framework. So currently, we are not issuing any licenses, no variations, no renewals. So meanwhile, government is fast-tracking the review of the relevant laws and development of regulations and policies to cover the existing gaps for proper enforcement and enhancement of economic benefits for the nation. My ministry has so far drafted 19 regulations, which are at various stages of development. Stakeholder consultations on draft regulations governing the export of raw and unprocessed minerals have been conducted, and a drafting instruction has been issued to the Ministry of Justice. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, my ministry has also commenced the process of reviewing the mines and minerals policy. It is envisaged that the policy will be completed and ready for dissemination by December 2026. The ministry has also drafted the artisanal and small-scale mining policy and currently awaiting stakeholder consultations before finalization. First Deputy Speaker, sir, allow me now to share some information on license registry. After noting that there was no proper adherence to the law in the issuance and maintenance of licenses, government has conducted license registry audit to ensure that there is adequate compliance from all license holders. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I am pleased to inform the August House that the audit has been completed. Meanwhile, appropriate corrective measures will be taken against all non-compliant license holders. First Deputy Speaker, sir, now let me turn to gold mining. I wish to report that Malawi has seen a rise in illegal gold mining activities. While the gold rush is happening across the country, the newly emerging areas are Dewe and Kanchocho in Nzimba, Nalutete in Karonga, Nkhotakota Game Reserve, Chuzira in Area 23, and Natenje in Lirongwe. These areas are holding thousands of people, over 4,000 reported in Nzimba alone. The activities are encompassing illegal gold mining and trading. First Deputy Speaker, sir, currently there are over 80 gold mining hotspots that have been identified across the country. More sites continue to emerge in addition to those that have already been mapped, and it is anticipated that more sites will keep on emerging. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, you may wish to note that illegal mining of gold has the following negative impact. One, environmental degradation, which disturbs natural ecosystems. Secondly, depriving the nation of the much-needed revenue through smuggling. Thirdly, it is a national security risk, as the activities are involving foreigners who could be armed or arming our nationals. First Deputy Speaker, sir, my ministry is undertaking the following steps to curb this illegal mining. One, my ministry is finalizing processes of organizing these artisanal miners and small-scale miners into cooperatives and formalizing them through appropriate licensing channels. The formalization will assist with the delivery of targeted interventions to the miners, including providing them with the requisite training and market access. Through the cooperatives, miners will be able to police each other, thereby enhancing security, safety, and environmental protection. Secondly, my ministry, Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, is working on providing a market to the miners through the Malawi Mining Investment Company, MAMICO, in conjunction with the Reserve Bank of Malawi. Thirdly, Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, government has established an interministerial task force on illegal mining. The role of this task force is to coordinate the response to this illegal mining by undertaking the following. One, to deter and suppress illegal mining nationwide. Two, to disrupt organized criminal networks and financiers linked to illegal mining. Thirdly, to secure all mining areas in Malawi. Fourth, strengthen border control and prevent cross-border mineral smuggling. 5, enhance interagency intelligence sharing and operational coordination. 6, support lawful mining and protection of government revenue. The task force will flush out illegal buyers, including foreigners from these hotspots. Only licensed buyers will be allowed to operate and buy gold within the country. Here, Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, the priority is to protect the local miners who are depending on these activities for their livelihood, while removing the illegal buyers who are smuggling the gold out of the country and depriving the country of the much-needed mineral revenue. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, in this quest as well, my ministry is devolving mining functions to district councils. This is crucial as the mining and geological officers at the district level will provide the required services to the district councils. And some of these services will include dissemination of mining information, training of the miners, inspection and monitoring of mining activities. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, additionally, allow me to take this opportunity to report that as the ministry is working on improving the legal and regulatory framework, it is also building capacity on negotiating mining development agreements. Under this activity, my ministry has managed to identify and hold discussions with development partners who are willing to support with expertise and capacity building in these important areas. First Deputy Speaker, sir, Government is committed to improving the mining sector through various initiatives, including the following. Government will provide adequate resources for the state-owned mining company, Mamico, to invest in various mining projects. The Malawi Mining Investment Company will also begin to purchase gold as a strategy to curb illegal gold mining. It is anticipated that within the short to medium term, Malawi Mining Investment Company will significantly contribute to the country's GDP and foreign exchange availability, among other benefits. First Deputy Speaker, sir, government will invest in capacity building for the Geological Survey Department to enable it to conduct detailed exploration of various minerals. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to inform this esteemed August House that one of the reasons we fail to secure fair deals in the mining development agreements with investors is that we allow investors to invest in detailed exploration, which determine the quantity and quality of our deposits. So we don't negotiate from a strong position. For this, my ministry has initiated a capacity building program for the Geological Survey Department so that we carry out detailed explorations ourselves before involving any investor. The mining sector remains dedicated to driving sustainable development of Malawi's mineral resources. These efforts will boost industrialization, create jobs, promote export growth, and diversify the economy, positioning mining as a cornerstone of Malawi's long-term economic transformation under the Malawi 2063 vision. In conclusion, Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, government is taking decisive actions to transform challenges faced by the mining sector in the country into opportunities for sustainable development. The coordinated efforts will lay a strong foundation for the country's economic transformation. I therefore urge all stakeholders to commit collectively to supporting implementation of these plans. Together, we can enhance the mining sector and drive the country's journey towards industrialization and prosperity under the Malawi 2063 vision. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, for the statement. Honourable members, this being her maiden statement, we can do better. We can do better. Thank you. Thank you very much. As our rule stipulates, we are requested for questions, no debate. If anyone has a question, I know we are already past the half break. I'll start from Lilongwe, right at the back. Lilongwe, is that Lilongwe Natenje?
You can call it that, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, but it's Lilongwe Msozi in Natenje. Yes.
Mzimba Southwest. Mzimba Southwest. And the Honorable Lady at the back. Lilongwe Nkoma. Yep.
Number 1. Number 2. Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. First of all, allow me to declare my interest that I'm a member of the National Sovereign Fund Task Force, and Natenje has also been mentioned by the Honorable Minister, so I'm heavily interested in this issue. But listening to the Minister, the 1% contribution of mining sector into the GDP is really very pathetic, given that in 2010, we were around about 10% when we had Kairekera. So mining has really been dormant for quite some time now. And I'm very much interested in the volumes that we are losing as a country via alluvial gold. And I think the Malawi Mining Investment Company estimated that we are losing about 1.2 trillion a year through smuggled alluvial gold in this country. 1.2 trillion can contribute quite a lot to our GDP if we had to stop the bleeding now. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, if Honorable Mcheu Central former, Honorable Mbawala, would have come in this house today to issue a statement on mining, alluvial gold, it would have been almost exactly the same as what the Honorable Minister has given us. What I want to say is, we know there's a problem, and this House, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, would be more interested in finding out what are we doing today to stop the bleeding. Because we've sent the army, the EDF have tried with a reserve bank, we've sent the army to support, but they've become compromised. We send the police to help, they've become compromised. And the smuggling is happening even in our form
Point of order, First Deputy Speaker.
There's a point of order.
First Deputy Speaker, you rightly guided that we are supposed to ask questions and no debates, but from the look of things, Honorable Member for Lilongwe Msozi seem to be debating.
Honorable Kadabe Chinteche, you are very right. When he started to say he's a member of some investment committee, it took away my concentration. You are very right. Honourable members, we need to ask questions. Can we ask questions to the Honourable Minister, avoiding debate? Thank you.
So the question has been asked, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, and the question is, what is it that we are doing to stop the bleeding today? Thank you.
Thank you. Mzimba, North, Southwest.
Thank you very much, Mzimba Southwest. First Deputy Speaker, let me start by congratulating the Honourable Minister for this statement. And the people of Mzimba Southwest were waiting for this clarification. However, I've got 3 questions that maybe the Minister may clarify. 1, the mining company that will be a regulator, and I seem to have heard that the same mining company will be buying. I want to hear the Minister correctly, regulating and buying the same company. Secondly, I also want to ask the Minister, some of these buyers are actually encroaching our national reserve forestry, and they are doing a lot of harm than good. Is the Minister aware? And can that also be included? I have this in Mapanjira, Chikangawa, Mzuzu Road. You find that a native is not allowed to go, but these people claim to have the so-called licenses. Is the Minister aware about that? The third one is the Minister to pronounce herself. When we are going, Deputy Speaker, when you are leaving Pwezi going towards Karonga, it is my sincere belief that the mines that are along that road are doing more harm to the main road because they are eating within the road reserve. If the Minister is aware, can the Minister do something in protecting our road? Chiweta is already a difficult terrain. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you. The honourable member for Lilongwe Nkoma.
Thank you very much, the First Deputy Speaker. Let me commend the Minister of Energy and Mining for the statement. My simple question is, amongst other places that has been mentioned that mining activities are taking place, are you aware that in Lilongwe Nkoma, there is also mining activities taking place, more especially at the villages surrounding Matapira, as we go to Chimutu? Are you aware that these mining activities happening, are they illegal or not? Because you have listed some of the places, but you haven't mentioned about Lilongwe Nkoma. So I just wanted to submit that question to you, Honorable Minister. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll ask is that a point of order or a question? Let's allow the Honourable Minister. Okay. I'm being guided that you can come in with your question now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. I have so many questions, but I'll ask 3 for now. Let me first thank the Honourable Minister for the ministerial statement on the status of mining in the country. And also allow me to also thank the previous president for facilitating the establishment of the Mining Regulatory Authority and the mining company, because that has given us a better direction for the country on issues of mining. My first question is on the Kasia Rutile project. The company does not have a mining license as of now, but at the previous INDAWA in South Africa, the company has signed the agreements with other companies without the involvement of Malawi. How is this possible? Because they need to sign these agreements here in this country, not outside the country, because the minerals they are signing agreements for are within Malawi. And therefore, why should we allow that to happen? My second question is on the Kangankunde project. Kangankunde project in Balaka right now, it's a big project. It does not have to operate under a medium-scale license. At what point will Indian Resources now upgrade their license to large-scale mining? The third one is on the Kairekela project. The Kairekela project, they have a mining license. They're supposed to start mining, and Malawi was supposed to have started gaining from that project. But as of now, they're still sending samples, big samples. What are we doing? Why are we allowing this to happen? Because they are not supposed to be sending samples right now. They are supposed to start mining. First Deputy Speaker, those are my questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honourable Minister. Honourable members, immediately the Honourable Minister is on the floor. I expect honourable members to listen. Order, honourable members to my right.
Thank you so much, Honourable First Deputy Speaker, sir. The first question is from Honourable Member of Lilongwe Nsozi. He is asking my ministry, what are we doing to stop this bleeding, this illegal mining and the illegal marketing of gold in the country? The first thing that we did as a ministry is to identify the problem or the cause of this illegal gold mining. Obviously, the answer, you should know the answer. People want something, they want money out of it. But now, who is pushing the illegal selling of this gold mining? These are the people that have just come in, invaded our country. So the issue is, the problem is made worse because people are lacking markets. The Reserve Bank has been there to to buy gold through EDF, but I think they can only be, they can't be everywhere. That's what I can say. They can't be everywhere. As a result, we have given room to these illegal miners to come in and buy gold from our people. So the first thing that we have looked at as a government is to make sure that we facilitate provision of markets to these miners. We are trying to avoid unleashing our security agents to go and chase these artisan miners. First and foremost, these are Malawians. They are looking for a living. So we have to be prudent on how we handle this. So we are saying, okay, the first thing that we need to do is to give them a market. But before giving them a market, the first thing is to organize them. Because what we know now is they're not organized. We need to organize them. So what we are doing as a ministry is to organize them into cooperatives. We are organizing them into cooperatives. Why are we doing this? We are doing this because that's the only way we can begin to get to them with messages. Messages of security, safety, environment, and of course know-how. That's training. So we can only do that if they are organized, they are in groups. Then secondly, most importantly, we have to provide a market. So government is capacitating Mamiko to join Reserve Bank to provide these markets. What we have done now is to make sure that we get markets close to the people. Because what we have been seeing is that these foreigners, these illegal buyers, have been getting to the people where they are and giving them the money, pompo. Reserve Bank has not been everywhere. So we are trying as Mamiko, once we put them into these cooperatives, we have talked to banks. We have talked to FDH Bank, NBS Bank, because they've got a wider network. We want to make sure that in those branches, we'll have our desk, Mamiko desk. So when people, these artisanal miners, they are done with their processing of the gold, they will take this gold to the bank, they will process there, and they'll get paid there and then. And we're making sure that what we're going to pay is what is, it has to be a competitive, it has to be competitive. Because we don't want to pay less than what these illegal buyers are paying. So if you ask us, what are we doing is to provide a market, but we want this to be a structured market. And once we put them into these cooperatives, we're going to give them licenses. So we'll begin to identify them and give them messages as required. The second question is from Nzimba West. Honorable Member Nzimba West.
Chair,
Zimba.
I didn't ask a question, Chair.
My apologies. Zimba South, right?
Zimba Southwest.
Southwest. I missed the south. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So the question from Honorable Member Zimba Southwest, I think he wanted a clarification on the role of Mamiko as well as the regulator. Mamiko is just a company. It's a Malawi mining investment company. It was established to take care of government's shareholding into all mining investments in the country. So they're not doing any regulation. Regulation is going to be done by the Malawi Mining Regulatory Authority, MMRA. So these are two different entities. Thank you. Then the second one was, what are we doing to stop encroachment of reserved areas? Honorable Member, we are doing something. Actually, probably in the next few days, you should see the security agents protecting out there. We have looked at two approaches. First, to make sure that we protect all reserved areas, all protected areas. These are mountains. We know people have encroached Mulanje as we speak, Mulanje Mountain, forest reserves, Nkota and other reserves. And all reserved areas, we want to make sure that we chase out all these illegal miners. So we have already, an instruction has already been given to the task force. Remember, I talked about a task force on illegal mining. So this comprises of all security agents in the country. Malawi Defense Force, police, immigration, NIS, they are forming that team. So instruction is already given. They'll go out and make sure that they clean up all our reserved protected areas. That's the first part. The second part is that wherever we are doing mining, they are going to be there to make sure that they cordon off that area so that they only allow those with a license to do the mining. So that's the second approach. And you've also talked about mining activities affecting the road reserves in the north as you're going down to Karonga. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm not aware of that, but I'll check, then get back to you with a proper position. But I take it that probably those companies should have presented a proper Asia. That's the environmental impact assessment plan. I'm hoping they did that. So we'll check that and respond accordingly. Then I'll move to Lilongwe Nkomba. You have asked my ministry whether we are aware if there is gold mining as well in your area, Matapira and Chimutu. I must say I'm not aware. I'll check that. But as I mentioned in my statement, I said that we do have 80 areas that have been mapped out across the country doing gold mining, but there are emerging areas almost on a daily basis that are coming outside the 80 areas that are mapped out. So we'll check that one out. Thank you so much. Then let's move to Lilongwe, my sister, Minister Emeritus. Remind me the constituency? Lilongwe Demera, okay. Lilongwe Demera, yes. You've asked 3 important questions. The first one is on CASIA agreements. Why did they sign this agreement outside the country? Your question is our question as well. Why was it done outside the country? But one thing that I can say is that we have taken note of that development, and I can confirm that as MMRA, Malawi Mining Regulatory Authority, has written formally to the company to find out more, because I know there are a lot of questions going around in the social media and what have you. So there are a lot of questions. But so what we have done right now is to write them so that we are demanding disclosure. Disclosure of the relevant contract for regulatory review. As you know, whatever any mining company does to do with whether it's transfers, encumbrances, equitable interest, or change of control, that has to be communicated to the ministry for review. So we have written them. We're expecting answers, and at an appropriate time, we'll give an update to the country so that they're in the know. Because there's a lot of interest, I think, around. The next one is on Ikangankude. Why are they holding a medium-scale license? I think this is a question I should be asking you, my sister. Because when I joined the ministry, that's the first question I asked. I met the country director, I met their counsel, their legal counsel. I asked the same questions. Because as we know, we may know, some of us may know, the mining that is going to take place at Kangankude is huge. It's large scale. Because the deposits that are found there can take us another 100 years of mining. Yes. They have done the exploration itself, the drilling, they have gone as deep as 2 kilometers deep. So it's like the whole hill, okay? So it's you know, I mean, the deposits there are substantial. So that was my question. So I've already reached out to their legal counsel. Our department is already in talks with them. We have written them to make sure that they update. To make sure that they update from medium to large scale. Okay. Then, thank you. So your third question was on Kairekera. Kairekera, as you know, is one of the two companies that are holding a mining license. Yes, they've been sending minerals for a long time. I've found this. But you may wish to know that for now, it's about 2 or 3 months now, nobody sends any samples out without going through my office. So, because of the president's directive that no mineral should go out without processing, so to ensure that we are doing that, all requests for samples to go out, they go through my office. But I'm pleased to report that I think they're almost done. I've just signed one request, I think 2 days ago. That was, I should think that's the last one, because as we are now, they've done, they did the blasting 2 months ago. So they've got substantial minerals that they are ready to export now. It's time for exporting now. So they just sent, I think, about 30 kgs. I think the last one of the lot that they have done the mining. So they should be out now in the market in the short period of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, honour members. Honour members, the choice now to curtail is on the chair, because we have a half a break to attend to, and come back to deal with the other report. So the choice, if we are sitting down, it shows now you are listening to the chair, and you would want the chair to move on with the curtailment of the question time. So it looks like we are agreeing on that one. Thank you very much. Honour members, I now suspend proceedings for a half a break. The House resumes at 16:30 for the report on the Agriculture Ministry. House suspended.
Oh, kodi ati patsakalata. Oti zilemba hapa, kalata ijati